Welcome to another edition of Coffee and Beats. I am your musical barista, Rod the Magnificent. So glad to be back as we get ready for another big season of music album reviews. I got a lot of reviews coming up. So whether it's visual reviews, whether it's audio reviews, which I will be dropping soon, I'll also be dropping some shorts on YouTube of brief album reviews of some of the albums that I've been listening to, some of the records that I've been listening to since I've been on vacation, and that explains why I've had such a long drought in between episodes. Your boy went to South America, had himself a ball, was able to reset the mind, hit that reset button so I can give you guys the episodes that y'all been waiting for. And so here I am. But first, before I get started, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the share button, share it with your loved ones. And you see that description box down low. That means comment on some of these album reviews, or if you got suggestions on any albums that you would like me to review in the future, feel free to put those down in the chat. It's been a strong music year here in 2024. A lot of new releases have come out, and I want to start off with this particular group, the Marloes. Yes, the Marloes dropping their debut album, Perak. Now, this album came out last month as of this recording in I think it was August or September. Correct me in the comments section. I don't have that information in front of me, but this is the debut album from soul funk band the Marloes, and they feature 3 artists: the lead vocalist Natasha Ciantori. We have the guitarist, I would just shorten his name to Raka, which is short for his name, and then we got Tommy Sagweek, and hopefully I said that name right, on the drums. And their unique sound mixes elements of their local culture and music with influences of soul, jazz, and pop. The Marloes album Perak is a delightful journey through soulful sounds and vintage vibes, encapsulating the essence of all of the feelings. And some of these singles are very slick, clever lyricism that we see from Natasha here. And this band masterfully blends in elements of soul and funk and jazz to create a record that's both timeless and exciting. And I know when you listen to this album, you're gonna get some type of vibe similar to the group The Sacred Souls. From the very first track, it's clear that the Marloes is driven by a deep love for classic soul music. The warm analog feel of the production, combined with the band's tight musicianship, gives each song a rich, layered, and textured quality. The vocals by Natasha here are nothing short of mesmerizing. They're very soulful, expressive. It's dripping with emotion. They guide the listener through tales of love, heartache, and joy with effortless grace, and she does it in different languages in some pockets of the record. And the standout tracks like Not Today, which is the first single off the album, is very irresistible. It has a very nice groove to it. And then you have Over, with a lot of different instrumental palettes as she continues to glide through the single with lush harmonies and smooth rhythms, showcasing the band's ability to craft songs that are both catchy and deeply emotional. The instrumentation arrangements of this album are particularly noteworthy because it adds a layer of sophistication and energy that elevates the entire album. And Perak is not just a nod to the past, but a celebration of it. It's definitely an album that will help the modern audience to appreciate good soul music and how soul classic music should sound. And each track feels like a carefully curated experience, inviting listeners to get lost in the music and let them transport to another time and place, or give them those memories of their first love, the memories of when your loved one probably ticked you off, or when you just had it for the day and you just don't want to be bothered with anything and you just want to pop on a record and just let your mind drift off into the music. This is the perfect album for that. And whether you're a longtime fan of soul music or if you're new to the genre, I think Perak is an album that demands your attention. It's a beautiful, soulful, and utterly captivating record that proves that the Marloes are a band worth watching for, and I look forward to hearing future projects from this band. I give this one a 4 out of 5, a grande out of 5. And I look forward to hearing more from them. The Marloes, if you're listening, keep up the good work. We are enjoying it here on Coffee and Beats. Last but not least, we got the Sacred Souls with their sophomore album, Got a Story to Tell. Yes, indeed. This is the sophomore project from a group that has been taking social media by storm. Their debut self-titled featured the song Rose, Can I Call You Rose? And so many on Instagram, you just saw so many people using this song whenever it's a romantic moment, and it put the Sacred Souls on the map. Unfortunately, I hated it took social media to do it. I thought that this album was their first album was pretty good before all the social media craze, but it's neither here or there. Here they are with their second project, and this album features 12 tracks rounding off at about 38 minutes. And the Sacred Souls sophomore effort is a soulful triumph that solidifies their place as one of the most compelling and modern soul bands today. Building on the success of their debut, the album dives deeper into themes of love, longing for love, maybe losing a loved one, whether it's through a breakup. This album was more of experiencing the challenges of love and maintaining love and dealing with heartbreak. There's a lot of themes of love that sometimes it can get a little complicated, but from the first track, Lucid Girl, it's clear that these Sacred Souls have refined their craft. The lush instrumentation on here is impeccable. It's got very good harmonies. The heartfelt vocals blend effortlessly to create an immersive listening experience. And songs like Live For You and The Losing Side of Love feels like instant classics. The band's ability to transport listeners to a place of warmth and self-examination is as strong as ever. What sets the album apart is its emotions, the depth, the maturity that you see with the band. The production is very smooth. While the grooves remain mellow and the melodies remain comforting, the lyrics take on a more reflective tone, making this album feel like a personal conversation between the band and the listeners. And if you're a fan of soul music that tugs at the heartstrings while offering grooves to get lost in, this album is a must listen. These Sacred Souls have proven that their story, it's very genuine. It has that vintage 70s sound, kind of reminds me of Marvin Gaye soul ballads that you saw Here My Dear, one of the most overlooked albums of Marvin Gaye's collection. But I just really feel like this project gives you those nostalgic 70s guy band vibes. Again, along with the solid and crisp production, sonically, this album is easy to listen to. Good album to sip some coffee to. And speaking of coffee, I give this one a 4.5, a 4.5 out of 5. This is a grande and a half, very close to being a venti. I really didn't see any flaws with this record. These Sacred Souls, if you're listening, keep these albums coming, keep them rolling. You are bringing back what is being lost in R&B soul. It's something that everyone has been craving to listen to, and you're bringing it back. You're bringing soul back, and so we appreciate this, along with the Marloes, just bringing back that original soul sound that is sorely missed in the music industry today. And that will do it for this edition of Coffee and Beats. I am your musical barista, Rod the Magnificent. Hit those likes, hit the subscribe button. Check me out on Patreon. On there, I'll be putting out some different album reviews on my Patreon. Also, buy me a coffee. I will be back to putting reviews on that platform too. Also on Spotify as well. So you're gonna get, either way, you're gonna get Coffee and Beats no matter what. And if you are in any of those platforms, you are going to get these episodes. You're going to get these hands, so to speak. So Again, I am your musical barista, Rod the Magnificent. When it comes to coffee, when it comes to music, stay grounded for life. Also, if you are a sports fan, don't forget I have a new sports podcast, which is called Coffee Break Sports. Please check for that. That is also on YouTube, as well as my sister network to Coffee and Beats. So if you're into sports, I got some good episodes on that platform as well. So check me out. And again, Rod the Magnificent signing off. I'm out. Peace.